Yo, how's it going, everyone? This is Mitchell Mander here, and I just got done watching episode 204 Boruto Naruto Next Generations. And I have to say, this episode was phenomenal. A fantastic episode. A top 5 Boruto episode for sure. And I loved every second of it. It was very entertaining. And this is not going to be your typical review from me, because, I just want to talk mainly about the differences between the episode and the manga. Just because I actually did a review of chapters 37 and 38 back in the day, I guess earlier on in this channel's history, so I'll have a link to those 2 manga chapter reviews in the link below, so if you want to check them out, you can do that. But anyways, let's get on to discussing this episode. So let's start off with the minor stuff from the episode. So Sarada arrives at the Hokage residence, wanting to give Kawaki the flowers that she got from Ino's shop in the previous episode. She's immediately shocked as she sees that one Jonin in the corner dying, and Konohamaru also pretty much dying as well. So they're taken away to the hospital, and she's wondering what's going on. And Kawaki's over here, he's so shocked at what just happened. And I like how they emphasize it here, because Sarada's trying to talk to Kawaki, and he's literally not responding. Because Kawaki here, he had the one person the first person in his entire life to show him love and respect was just taken away from him. And he's so desperate that when Boruto and Mitsuki show up, he just wants to go to any lengths and just go anywhere without any clues to find Lord Seventh. He's that desperate to get him back. And I love it. It just shows, how Kawaki is just so desperate to get that love and attention back. I love it. And I like how Boruto talks him down and manages to calm him down, because he has no leads to where they went to anyway, so it's not like he's going to accomplish anything at this point, especially in the state of mind he's in. But anyways, I also like the fact that Ino communicates with Shikamaru, informs her that Naruto completely disappeared, so Shikamaru was on it, so he's heading out to see what's going on. So the first major difference I noticed in this episode is that Koji managed to sneak one of his frogs into the portal when Naruto got sucked into that Otsutsuki dimension. I don't know how nobody noticed this frog get in. But anyways, it's actually watching the battle. But this changes stuff, because in the manga, Koji didn't watch the battle. He didn't even know that Sasuke was there for sure. So this is going to change the course of what's going to be happening in the next few episodes, or at least the next episode with Koji in it. So the first thing I liked about this fight was the fact that Naruto produced 1,000 shadow clones versus Jigen. Because one of the complaints that people had about the Naruto and Sasuke versus Jigen fight in the manga was that Naruto only produced a couple shadow clones versus Jigen, and he easily dealt with them. And everybody's like, why didn't Naruto just produce 1,000 clones versus Jigen? That would have helped him out a lot. And as we saw here, Jigen basically handled the shadow clones like they were nothing. It just shows how powerful Jigen is. Naruto and Sasuke were trying their best against them, and even in his just initial karma state, he was handling them really well. But I like this part where one of Naruto's clones actually took Jigen's rod and actually attacked him with the rod. I thought that was pretty sweet. But yeah, you just get to see how powerful Jigen is, and he basically skewers all of Naruto's shadow clones with his chakra rods. It's pretty crazy to see. And oh boy, if you thought Jigen was already strong in his initial karma state, he's already pressuring Naruto and Sasuke, but as soon as he grows that horn and goes, into phase 2 of the Otsutsuki transformation, or whatever you want to call it, yeah, it's game over at this point, because he went from pressuring Naruto and Sasuke to just absolutely dominating them. And I love the whole segment that the anime added here after Naruto and Sasuke go into their Kyuubi and Susanoo avatars respectively. Because in the manga, Sasuke just goes to attack Jigen and then he kicks him out of his Susanoo. It's actually a pretty quick scene in the manga. Here in the anime, they had added a whole section. It's a Sagia Fest, where Jigen is just dodging the Susanoo and Kyuubi attacks. And I love this whole segment. Whoever animated this, my kudos to you, because this was so entertaining to watch. It was one of my favorite parts of this entire episode. It was just so beautiful to watch. And you get to see how fast Jigen is. He's just dodging everything, and he's just taking everything that Naruto and Sasuke are throwing at him, and he's just throwing it right back at them. Now, after Jigen decisively defeats Naruto and Sasuke, he's got those chakra rods skewering them, and they're practically in critical condition at this point. The next major change that happens from the anime to the manga is that in the manga, Sasuke escapes, And then Naruto and Jigen have their conversation, and then Kurama tells Naruto to back down and stop talking before he decides to kill him, and that he has no business with him. And then he talks about Boruto. The obvious difference here is that the anime actually kept Sasuke here, where Kurama told Naruto to step down, and he tells him, "Oh, hey, I'm interested in your son Boruto. He has a karma, right? Well, I'm interested in him." So Sasuke was there to actually hear that. So that's an obvious difference from the manga here. And then Sasuke eventually escapes, and then Naruto is sealed away. And then we get the scene where I should say Jigen here seals Naruto away, and then Ishiki, within Jigen, I guess, or within his vessel, curses Jigen's, defective body, calls him a defective failure. He's not worthy of being Ishiki Otsutsuki's vessel. So yeah, that's kind of a reveal for anime only. So Jigen here is actually, he's being utilized as a vessel for an Otsutsuki named Ishiki. So yeah. Anyways, the episode comes to an end with Naruto's chakra being shut off. So Kwaki's arm stops working. He drops a picture of Naruto. And I just like how the episode comes to an end here, where Kwaki is just in utter disbelief that Naruto is potentially dead now. So besides animation, one thing I really loved in this episode was the art style throughout this episode. I know a lot of people have been complaining in past episodes that Jigen just looks terrible in the anime. He just doesn't look as imposing as he does in the manga, and that he's just lacks the detail that he has in the manga. Well, this episode, Jigen looks very much like his manga counterpart, and I love what they did here. There's several parts in this episode that had great art styles, like when Jigen went into his second karma phase. That looked awesome. Or when he took the Amaterasu, he looked super menacing there, and I just loved how Jigen was portrayed in this episode. I also liked the part where Naruto sent Sasuke away to go back, escape, and I just liked the way Naruto is drawn there. It's just really well done. So again, the art style was just fantastic in this episode. The animation was amazing in this episode. This is one of the best animated episodes of Boruto, and one of the best animated episodes of the entire Naruto franchise. And we complained about, Naruto versus Delta not being as good as we wanted it to be, but you know what? If we had to sacrifice, those episodes for being, just okay animation compared to, this week's episode, which had amazing animation, I'll take it, because this is definitely the more important fight of the two fights. So, yep. I will say I still enjoyed Naruto versus Delta, but yeah, I will say that fight was it was animated just decently. I'm not trying to, shun the animators or anything, but compared to this episode, they definitely put a lot more love into this episode compared to the Naruto versus Delta episodes. And again, I want to mention that Jigen's power was emphasized really well in this episode. I know when the manga chapters came out back in 2019, I know a lot of people were complaining that Naruto and Sasuke were nerfed, and that why are they struggling against this guy? He's an imperfect vessel. Why on earth are they not doing better? And I think this episode did a good job of showcasing Jigen's abilities, Jigen's power, and Jigen's speed, as he was basically countering Naruto and Sasuke in all their moves, even in his initial karma state. And there was one part, it looked like they were running at the same speeds they were running at during their battle with Momoshiki, and yet Jigen was still blocking off their attacks. Go back and watch the Momoshiki episode and then watch this battle, and you just see a complete difference from Jigen to Momoshiki in terms of power. Jigen is clearly leagues above Momoshiki in terms of power, especially when he goes into phase 2 of the karma transformation. He immediately mops the floor with Naruto and Sasuke. I just think this episode just did a fantastic job showcasing his abilities and his full power in his vessel. So yeah, gotta give kudos to the anime for doing this. It definitely improved upon the manga, in my opinion. So I'm going to end off the video here. So overall, this was a fantastic episode. One of the best Boruto episodes to date. It's easily a 10 out of 10 episode. So guys, in the comment section down below, post your thoughts. What do you think of this episode? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Just let me know what you thought. If you're new to the channel, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And I'll talk to you guys later for the manga chapter review.